In the labyrinth of international politics, where strategic interests and power dynamics are the protagonists, an astonishing story emerges. A story that intertwines the figure of a controversial president, a nation at the center of age-old conflicts, and an undercurrent of beliefs that transcend the purely rational. Prepare to unravel the surprise factor: Trump, Israel, and the mystical. Donald Trump's presidency was characterized by an exceptionally strong support for Israel, a stance that surpassed even that of previous American administrations. But what drove this particular relationship? Beyond traditional geopolitics, we find a fascinating connection with religious beliefs and elements that we might consider mystical. Join us as we explore the surprising intersections between Trump's policies towards Israel and the world of the spiritual. Donald Trump's backing of Israel manifested in a series of decisions and political actions that marked a before and after in the region. In 2017, defying decades of American policy, Trump recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, a gesture that culminated in the relocation of the United States Embassy from Tel Aviv in 2018. In 2019, the Trump administration took another significant step by declaring that the Golan Heights, a disputed territory, belonged to Israel, granting legitimacy to an annexation that did not have international recognition. One of the greatest diplomatic achievements of his term was the promotion of the Abraham Accords in 2020. These historic agreements normalized relations between Israel and several Arab countries, opening a new era of regional cooperation. In addition to these diplomatic movements, the Trump administration adopted a permissive stance regarding Israeli territorial expansion, maintaining a tacit silence on the construction of settlements in the West Bank and presenting in 2020 the Peace to Prosperity plan, which largely favored Israeli demands. Finally, the Trump administration firmly opposed any international criticism of Israel, defending the country before the International Criminal Court and confronting its regional rivals, such as Hezbollah and Iran. To understand the depth of Trump's support for Israel, we must delve into the world of Christian Zionism. This ideology, rooted in certain evangelical Christian circles, interprets the Bible as an eternal promise of the land of Israel to the Jewish people. Christian Zionists believe that the modern establishment of Israel is the fulfillment of biblical prophecy, a crucial event linked to the second coming of Jesus Christ. For them, supporting Israel is not just a political matter, but a divine mandate. Evangelical Protestants constitute a significant part of Trump's voter base, and their unconditional support for Israel is deeply rooted in their religious beliefs. Key appointments within the administration, such as those of Mike Huckabee and Elise Stefanik, reflected this perspective. The creation of the White House Office for Faith, led by Paula White, a longtime spiritual advisor to Trump, underscores the importance of religious considerations in policy towards Israel. White played a fundamental role in strengthening ties and in pushing for the relocation of the embassy to Jerusalem. Prominent evangelical leaders openly expressed their conviction that Trump's support for Israel was in line with God's will, and that his presidency was, in part, a result of evangelical support. Their influence became evident in foreign policy decisions such as the recognition of Jerusalem. The belief that the entire land of Israel belongs to the Jewish people by divine design drives their unconditional support for Israeli policies and their opposition to any division of the territory. The influence on the Trump-Israel relationship was not limited to Christian Zionism. We also find examples of Jewish mystical interpretations that were used to frame his election and his policies. Some Israeli religious leaders praised Trump's election, describing it as a divinely ordained event that could mark the beginning of a messianic era. Mystical interpretations such as gematria were used, where the numerical value of Trump's name was equated with Mashiach, Messiah. Trump's promise to move the United States Embassy to Jerusalem was interpreted by some as a connection to the power of the Messiah, which gave him the necessary boost to win the elections. Temple Mount activists saw Trump's anti-globalist stance as a sign that he would adopt a non-interventionist approach regarding Israel, allowing their movement to rebuild the Jewish temple to grow without American interference. Even the self-proclaimed Sanhedrin, a replica of the ancient Jewish court, urged Trump and Russian leader Vladimir Putin to fulfill their biblically mandated roles by rebuilding the Jewish temple in Jerusalem. The comparison of Trump to biblical figures like King Cyrus was also frequent. In Jewish tradition, Cyrus is seen as a pagan agent of the divine plan for the return of the Jews to the land of Israel from their exile. This idea was popular among both evangelical Christians and some Jewish circles. Similarly, some evangelical Christian supporters compared Trump to King Jehu, a biblical king who overthrew corruption and restored the Kingdom of Israel, using this analogy to frame Trump as a leader who would drain the swamp of Washington. The surprise factor in the relationship between Trump, Israel, and the mystical lies in the astonishing confluence of political interests and religious convictions. Trump's political pragmatism in appealing to his evangelical base, strongly pro-Israel for theological reasons, aligned with the beliefs of Christian Zionism to shape his specific policies. The often unexpected and disruptive nature of Trump's policies towards Israel might be seen as surprising, but perhaps becomes more understandable in the context of these powerful religious influences. The presence of key individuals within the Trump administration with strong religious beliefs or ties to the pro-Israel movement also played a crucial role in shaping his agenda. The question remains, did Trump see his pro-Israel policies as part of his broader, deal-maker approach, or was he influenced by a sense of fulfilling a higher purpose, potentially fueled by the beliefs of his advisors and his base? Donald Trump's relationship with Israel is a complex web of political, strategic, and religious factors. While Trump's unconditional support for Israel was undeniable, the influence of Christian Zionism appears to have been a particularly strong driving force behind these policies. Furthermore, Jewish mystical interpretations suggest that some within the Jewish community also viewed Trump's actions through a religious lens. This convergence of interests and beliefs created an exceptionally strong support for Israel under the Trump administration, with significant consequences for the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and for American foreign policy in the Middle East. Understanding the influence of religious beliefs, particularly Christian Zionism, is crucial to analyzing the dynamics of this unique relationship. The surprise factor invites us to consider how beliefs, often invisible, can shape history and the decisions of world leaders. What do you think? Was the Trump-Israel relationship a mere political calculation, or were there forces beyond the tangible at play? Leave your comments below. Thank you for watching and don't forget to hit like and subscribe to this channel. See you next time.